Welcome back to another episode of Kerbal Space Program, episode 2. And in the beginning of this episode, what we're going to be doing is upgrading our launch pad. We need to do this in order to build bigger rockets, essentially, and heavier ones at that as well. So 52 grand. Take my money. LISO 66. Let's see. Max vessel size unlimited, max vessel weight unlimited, so that's the third and final upgrade for that building. And we'll get to that once we have more money. So I've already taken a contract. It is the 1-2 orbit kerbin, and I've already started construction on a vehicle in order to do so. So what this is, essentially, it's the Orbiter Mark 1. Pretty similar layout to the last rocket we used in the first video. I just added some solid fuel boosters to give us a little bit more oomph, and I created a form of lander here, a sort of lander. It does have an LV909 engine in there to slow our descent, so hopefully we'll be able to land back on the surface so that we can keep whatever's in our science container. What is that part called? It is a Science Junior, even. So we'll see how it goes. Let's go ahead and launch our vehicle. And I am going to have to take a look here and make sure all of our staging is right and appropriate. Hopefully we don't wobble right off the launch pad. So we have our last decoupler as a insurance policy in case everything else goes wrong. And here, oh gosh, our staging. That staging though. So that'll be our first one, this will be our second one. And that is our lander, if I'm not mistaken. So we need that engine down here, and we need, well, let's go ahead and do one of these. Just like that. That should do it for us. Go ahead and throttle up, turn SAS on. I do have the solid fuel boosters at a thrust limit of about 50%, so we'll see how this goes. Without further ado, let's go ahead and lift off in 3, 2, 1. And so far so good. Now our last rocket was pretty darn close to taking us into orbit. I think I could have done it, or at least come pretty darn close to it with what we had before. So adding these solid fuel boosters should be doing it for us here. I've throttled down just a bit to keep this under 200 meters a second, as much as I can anyways, until we're out of the upper part of the atmosphere, just because everything other than that is pretty much a waste when you really kind of look at it. I do want to time, however, our liquid fuel with our solid fuel boosters. I want them to kind of run out around the same time, just so we're not carrying additional weight. So I think I'm going to throttle up, and I'm going to start turning our ship over here. And you can see now that we're just kind of carrying these solid fuel boosters along with the rest of our rocket, which is not a great thing to have happening. I probably could have done that a little bit better. Let's drop that other stage, and we're going to turn over right about now to our 90-degree vector, and we should be doing just fine here. Let's take a look at our map. Our apoapsis is about 30,000 meters. We should be good. We should be good here. We do have another stage here with a smaller engine in it to give us any extra oomph we may need. Hopefully we won't need it though. Hopefully. And we're just going to continue turning over just a bit more. And is this going to do something crazy where I can't create maneuver? Oh god. I've always used maneuver nodes in this game, so this is going to be this is gonna be a thing. So we're about 60,000 now. I know we need it to be at least 70,000 meters to achieve the mission, which it's at about right now. Let's go ahead and give it a little bit more wiggle room. And we'll call that good. We will call that good for now. So we're just gonna sail on up here, and what we're gonna do is completely turn this over to about right around here-ish. Our apoapsis is about 80,000 now. So let's go ahead and get a little bit closer to that. We have just reached space. It's actually about right now. We'll go ahead and just continue burning. And we're gonna have to use our, what was going to be our lander engine, but now it's going to be our orbital engine. Let's see if it has enough oomph to get us into an orbit. This should have pretty good efficiency while we're in the vacuum of space, but I don't know if it's going to be strong enough to get us into an orbit. Seem to be doing okay for the time being, and it's not using too much fuel either, so I'm not entirely worried about it. It's slowly creeping over. God, I love the LV909 engine. This thing is so efficient. It's only matched, in my opinion, by the atomic engine, which we will be using later on in the series, once we can unlock it. Looks like we're about to achieve... We should be seeing our periapsis show up here momentarily. There we go, coming around. Beautiful. And once this hits 70, we can go ahead and cut our thrusters. Bam! So the LV909 engine came through for us after all, achieving an orbit. Got the little marker here saying we did, in fact, complete that mission. So while we're up here, let's go ahead and do some science as well. In space near Kerbin, I was hoping it would give me like an orbiting one. We'll go ahead and keep that data though. Let's do a crew report. Not gonna give us anything, just because we've already done that one. We should be able to get something out of the Science Junior. Yeah, 25 science. We will keep that indeed. So, the only thing we need to make sure to do here is land on, well, land. Otherwise, that Science Junior is going to absolutely 100% explode. I don't think I've ever been able to keep one while landing in water. So let's go ahead and keep going around here. Okay, fantastic. And we're just gonna start burning towards our retrograde here, which should be lowering our periapsis. Indeed it is. Alright, we're gonna have to keep burning here to get back onto land. And that should do it. In theory. Let's go ahead and go back into this view here. You can see the moon will be there soon, hopefully. Let's go ahead and speed up some time here. Alright, we're still supposedly gonna hit land. Let's go ahead and point back towards our retrograde. Yeah, I think we're going to be good. We should definitely be hitting land here. So we should be seeing some atmospheric particles happening. And once we do, I'm going to go ahead and try to get this other mystery goo. 9? Yeah, we'll take that. That's perfectly fine. Can we do a crew report? We can. 0.9 science. We'll wait. Alright, and since... Whoa, 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 whoa. Alright, let's go ahead and slow some time down here. We're going to point back towards our retrograde. And we are going to throw our parachutes out. Let's go ahead and extend our landing legs as well. And these should fully deploy. Oh, we're not at sea level right now though. Let's go ahead and get in here and see what our altitude meter is. Oh, we're getting pretty close. They should actually be fully deploying here pretty soon. If I'm not mistaken, which has been known to happen. It's been known to happen. I wish you could see your altitude meter while you're in this view. That would be really beneficial in my opinion. Going in here and trying to get it right is pretty darn difficult. I just heard those parachutes go off, so let's go ahead and point towards retrograde. Fantastic. We'll speed up time on our descent back down towards the surface of Kerbin, and hopefully we'll be able to do a crew report out here. We should also be able to do an EVA, now that I think about it. We can do EVAs on the surface. Let's slow it back down here. Perfect. Let's do a crew report. 1.5 science, we'll take it. And let's go ahead and try to do an EVA as well. 5.6, we'll keep that. We'll board the craft and recover our vessel. Alright, so we got quite a bit of science out of that. We're sitting at 91, which is pretty darn good. We did recover a good amount of funds actually. We're back up to 112. So that basically offset that entire upgrade we just did. Jebediah Kerbin advancing to level 1 for us, which is more than helpful here. Does it say what we get for that? It does. So we have stability assist, which we already had, and now we can do prograde, retrograde, hold. I'm wondering what that is. I'm also wondering if there's a way to see, like, what do you have to do in order to level your pilot up, right? Is there a way to find out? I don't know. Let's go ahead and close. Let's hit our research and development center here. Actually, before we do that, let's hit mission control to see what they want us to do here. So explore the moon. Oh, goad. Completion. It's a good amount of money, actually. Achieve orbit around the moon. Transmit or recover scientific data from space around the moon. We can definitely do those too, I feel. Let's go ahead and take that. Let's see if it has anything else we can do pretty easily. Let's just go for the moon missions here. So we'll hit our R&D. And what do we got? We have a thermometer we can unlock. We also have solar panels which we can unlock, which would be kind of useful. Anytime we're doing a moon mission, having the ability to regain electrical charges is definitely worthwhile. But I think it's about time that we get some better rockets in here. So I'm going to hit that. We have some struts we can get. Oh, I wish we could get these. Those would be really handy right about now. Nose cones, winglets, not too worried about. These radial decouplers are absolutely going to be beneficial to us. We have some tricouplers we could theoretically use. Those struts are going to be what's most important though. I don't think any of this is going to be so useful for us, at least not right now. We could get this. This also has radial decouplers in it. It would make us a little bit more aerodynamic. The nose cones and the winglets. That might be useful. Or we could get these fuel tanks. I'm thinking fuel tanks, personally. Nope. No, I'm not. I'm thinking this. I have an idea. Let's go ahead and get that. We have 26 more science. No, oh, we can get this too, actually. Why not? We'll do that too. Alright. So, let's head on back to the VAB. I know we do have... Yeah, we can only support 30 parts. So we essentially we have 30 parts we can work with here. How many does this ship have? Will this tell me if I hit load? Oh god, we have 29 parts. Okay. So go ahead and hit cancel. We're going to take these solid fuel boosters off because we do have quite a bit better ones now. The Rockomax. These things are awesome. These things will do us good. And I think I'm going to cut here. I'm going to craft us a new ship to take with us, and I'll be right back with you. Everybody, as you can see, we have achieved orbit around Kerbin. We do have the moon right in front of us, more or less. I've seen this strategy used a couple times before, where as soon as the moon kind of peeks over the horizon there, you can burn prograde, and you may or may not get a moon encounter. Since we can't use maneuver nodes or set the moon as our target, it makes it quite a bit harder to do this mission, as I've been learning. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and continue the mission here, and I will show you the craft I used in order to do this mission, if it's successful, that is, once we're done. So let's go ahead and unpause. I have it set to prograde already, and we're gonna start our burn. So the theory here, more or less, is that by the time the moon gets to about right here-ish is when we will be at about our apoapsis, and that should give us a encounter. I have never used this particular method before, but with any luck and with enough fuel, anything is possible in Kerbal Space Program. Haha! So as our apoapsis gets closer here, we're gonna go ahead and start throttling back, but that won't be for another moment. Hopefully we'll have about 50 units of fuel left. That should be more than enough here. So let's go ahead and cut our engines here. Speed up time. And it looks like we're gonna beat the moon there. I wonder if we extend it out a bit further, if we can get it on the way back. That's always a possibility. Ooh, it's gonna be maybe close. Oh, there we go. So we have a moon encounter. We don't have a ton of fuel, and we can't do any maneuver nodes. So let's go ahead and just get our science out of the way. We're going to use our materials bay. That'll be a 50 science endeavor. We'll do a crew report, 10 more. Mystery goo, 20 science. And we can't do an EVA because we're just not that awesome quite yet. So that's about the end of what we can do here for the time being. Let's go ahead and speed up time. Periapsis is at 724,000 meters. Let's go ahead. Actually, let's check out our other science, or not our science, but our mystery. We might be able to get something out of here. High over kerbin, 15 science, we'll keep it. And we're gonna speed up time till we get to our apoapsis on the other side here. Let's get a bit closer. We're gonna set our nav ball to our retrograde position so that we can lower our periapsis. We have about 60 units of fuel left, so I think this is gonna be more than enough to get home. And once it hits that mark, we will throttle up. And just out of curiosity, I wonder where we're gonna be landing here. Is it not going to show us? I don't believe it is. Let's go ahead and speed up time and let's see. That looks like the ocean. Can we burn retrograde? Again, since we have those landing legs and we have the materials bay and all of that good stuff, if we can land on land, that is going to be the most beneficial thing for us, because then we run pretty much no risk of destroying the science bay, and that's holding 50 science for us right now, and that is something I don't want to lose. Let's go ahead and cut thrusters. And hopefully, oh gosh, this is going to be so close. With any luck, the atmosphere should slow us down enough so that we don't go kind of careening into this water right here. If we do, where are we at? Yeah, we should be totally fine right where we're at here. And what we're going to do here is we're going to pop our parachutes. Once we get a little bit further down here, we're slowing down quite a bit right now, just from the atmosphere. Let's go ahead and extend our landing legs. And this should be good enough to go ahead and throw out our chutes. And that should slow us down even further. And this should be just fine in order to make a safe landing anyways. Let's go and speed up time. And we are good. Alright, so a successful mission. This is a lot harder than I really expected it to be. Can we do an EVA here? 5 science, I will take it. We will board and recover the vessel. So we were able to transmit science from around the moon, which should give us a at least an update here for our current contract. We got a ton of science out of that. We were at 140 right now. We got okay, not really. We got some refunds. We're up to 140k now for the parts recovered. And Jebediah Kerman, 2 XP gained. So we'll hit done. And let's take a look. Alright, we got 15 grand, 30 science out of that. That's not bad. Orbit Kerbin, that was from a previous mission earlier. Let's go and discard that as well. So we're at 140k. We need 210 to unlock the next level of the vehicle assembly building, which will give us a ton more parts. The trouble we're running into right now is we can only use 30 parts in our ships, which is pretty limited. I think I could probably do an orbit around the moon with what we currently have, but it's going to be very hard. Let's go in research and development. and see if there's anything in here. I definitely want this because this will cut down on the amount of parts, because this fuel tank alone equals 2 of the 400, so that's going to be worth it for the time being. Let's see what else. We could go for the SRBs. These are great solid fuel boosters. Let's see. We get fuel lines. That would give us asparagus staging, but I don't know. That's still a lot of parts is the problem. Flight control would give us unmanned missions. That might be worth it. Let's take a look over here. This, however, would give us solar panels, which is going to be really useful, as well as these illuminators for landing on the moon. That would be really, really useful. The temperature gauge, I'm not too concerned about. The processing lab, I don't think we really need that yet either. I'm kind of torn between the solar panels, flight control, and heavy rocketry for the S1 SRBs. So I will take a look at this. I will not make a decision off camera without you guys, but this is going to do it for this episode. So we will see you next time.